Hole 1 is 352 feet of rolling hills ending with a sloping green. If you want to attack this one for a birdie, it is critical you avoid the tree line on the right and the lone tree in the field on the left. Hole 2 is about 338 feet and is blind off the tee. The hole finishes slightly right from the tee, and the green is again sloped. So you definitely want to be a bit long for a birdie putt instead of short and looking at a death putt. Hole 3 is 347 feet. It is an elevated tee pad and a straight shot to the basket. The goal here is to make sure your angle when releasing the disc matches the downhill elevation and that you hit the narrow gap at the end. Hole 4 is 260 feet and a fairly flat, straight shot. Be careful about letting the disc sneak too far right, as the dip in elevation on that side of the fairway can cause quite the headache when putting. Hole 5 comes in at 204 feet and is a blind shot from the tee. The goal here is to bend it right, but be careful of distance here. Many shots tend to go long and leave a tough putt on a green with downhill elevation on the backside. Hole 6 is one of the longer holes on the course at 348 feet. It starts out as a wide fairway, then narrows to a tunnel, and then an uphill climb to the basket at the end. Try to stay straight on this one, as left and right can be bogey city. Hole 7 is 270 feet and starts off with a very narrow fairway that curves to the right off the tee. If you can make it past the first couple trees, it should be smooth sailing to the basket. Hole 8 is 239 feet and is a straight shot with some uphill elevation just before you reach the basket. Be careful not to throw this one too far, however, as behind the basket and to the right are some steep downhill areas that can make this one a tough birdie. Hole 9 is a short downhill throw at 231 feet. It is a blind shot off the tee in a very narrow fairway for most of the hole. Bend it right and land straight. This is another hole with a very tricky green. If you go deep, you are again dealing with a very steep downhill area. Hole 10 is a beautiful downhill throw of about 313 feet. Keep it straight to make the initial gaps in the fairway, and you should set yourself up well for a putt. The green here is slanted, so make sure to compensate for those uphill putts. Hole 11 is one of the shortest on the course at 156 feet, and the perfect ace run throw. It's uphill, so if you give it a good run, it shouldn't land too far past the basket for your comeback birdie. Hole 12 is 175 feet, and from the tee curves to the left. This is a perfect overstable putter shot. Just be careful not to throw it too hard. As we have seen before, there is some steep decline just behind the basket. Hole 13 is 290 feet, and the fairway slopes downhill the entire way. There are two routes you can take here: straight at it, or curve something left of the dead tree and let it fade to the basket. The putting green here is fairly flat, but with downhill fairway, it is easy to go long. Hole 14 is 245 feet and goes straight uphill. Try to match the angle of your throw with the elevation gain so you don't huck it in the dirt. Once up the hill, you have to deal with a small wall of trees. Past that is a fairly flat putting green to snag a birdie. Hole 15 is another short shot at 205 feet, but one of the trickier greens on the course. The green has an uphill slope from left to right with danger all around unless you are less than 20 feet away. My tip here is to avoid landing your disc at extreme angles to avoid any rolls or skips. Try to come in nice and flat and take putting out of the equation on this one. Hole 16 is 293 feet and plays over a valley to the basket that is on a hill with declining elevation all around. Another tricky green. Throw it straight to the base of the hill, and don't be afraid to lay up to the base of the basket to save some strokes if you are out of position. Hole 17 is 275 feet and is a giant blind shot to the top of the hill. Pick something that curves left for you and put some distance on it. If you make it to the top of the hill, you should have an easy up and down for your par. Hole 18 is the longest on the course at 461 feet. Your only goal here is distance, but make sure not to end up left, as that can severely limit your par opportunities. Let it fly, and if you end up a little too far right, don't worry, it's wide open. At the end, all you have to contend with are 2 giant trees and a nice flat putting green.